Welcome back to Vickie's Country Home and welcome to my kitchen. If you haven't been here before, please go down below and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. If you haven't been receiving notifications, you may need to unsubscribe and resubscribe. I've had several people tell me they weren't getting notifications, and once they did that, they started getting them again. So hopefully that's not a problem for you. Tonight, I'm going to try out something I just bought, and no, this is not sponsored. I bought this myself. I've done a lot of research on it, and I've been researching it actually for a couple of years. But that is a sous vide, which is basically cooking with food that's in a vacuum. And I chose the Breville Joule Sous Vide, and it's the smallest in size, and it is run completely by an app on a phone or computer or tablet. There are no visible, only a button to turn it on and off. Everything else is done through your phone. So tonight I've invited my sister and her husband over, and we're going to cook some steaks. And so what we've done, you want thick steaks do best. And so ours are between 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches. And we got ribeyes, and I don't know if you've shopped for meat. It's crazy expensive. So, but we're testing this out tonight, and we want to use nice, thick, good steaks. These are ribeyes. They're pretty, and they are thick. So I have the Joule over here heating. You start with warm water, and you can cook it in a plastic Cambro. You can cook it in a pan. It has a magnetic bottom, so it can either stick to the bottom of the pan, or in this case it has a clip and it's clipped to it. And I've already got the water preheating, and that is the Joule doing that. So we've got it set to 133, so it's at the correct temperature. Sous vide is not going to overcook your food. So this is probably going to take about 1.5 hours for this size of steak to make it medium. So we're going to keep the water warm. We're going to go ahead and vacuum seal these steaks and season them up. And for that, I'm going to have Brian come over here and do that because that's like his thing. So, Brian.
All right.
There you go.
All right. So anyway, what I did earlier today on the steaks, and I have washed my hands prior to coming here, is that I did what is called dry brining. So I took some very coarse kosher salt. Flaky salt is actually better. And what you do anywhere from 1 hour to 4 hours to 24 hours ahead of time that you're going to bag these and put them in the water bath, or if you're cooking them in a cast iron pan, or if you're cooking them on the grill, is that you salt the outside of them. All right, what happens is that the salt is going to draw the liquid out of the steak, and then that is going to be reabsorbed back into the steak, allowing you to get some good seasoning into the muscle there, not just at the surface. So these steaks were brine dried. I put them in the oven. Let's see, how long ago was that? Okay, so let's see. It was in the refrigerator. Okay, so I take the 3 and I carry the 1. I get the square root of 7. Multiplied by 3, divide by 2. Sorry, it's this new Common Core math I'm doing here. It's really just, don't worry about it. So they've been dry brining for about 2.5 hours. And, if you can leave them for 24 hours, that actually would probably be best. But you don't want to use table salt when you're dry brining, because it just almost immediately soaks into the meat, and it really doesn't do anything to pull out the moisture, and then that gets reabsorbed back in. So that's what I did. So anyway, what we're going to do to season these is just going to be salt, pepper, and garlic. I actually have a little rub that I make up that is salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder with a little bit of paprika. So I think I'm just going to season these with that. And when we go, it's right behind it. No, it's the other one. No, it's right behind there. There we go. And, we'll just do some seasoning on these. And then I'm also going to take, when we vacuum seal them, I'm going to put a little bit of rosemary on each one. And then we'll put those in the water bath and cook them. Hour and a half, 2 hours. I actually prefer the 2 hour mark. But we'll see what happens. This is a new thing with that Breville thingamabob.
You got to understand, he's done this before, but he did it in his foundry.
Yeah, my Anvil foundry.
Like that big.
Yeah, it's
it uses like 2 million watts of power.
No, only 1,995,000. So anyway, I'm seasoning these, and I'm going to make sure that I season on the top. I'm going to season on the sides. Here on the end. Here on this end. There. And then on the back side.
Let me know when you're ready for me to make a vacuum seal bag.
All right, go ahead and then you can make a vacuum seal bag.
It's going to be noisy here.
Okay. Okay, so do you want to fold that back, or is this going to be wet? And I don't think I'm going to use the entire stock. I'm probably just going to do,
I would just use part.
Like about this much right here. Put it on top.
They can't see. Just a minute.
Oh, go ahead and do that.
Because if it's showing your face, they can't see.
Yeah, I know, that's it. But this is the stuff I've been doing here.
So he put the stuff on it. He put the rosemary on it. And put it in the vacuum seal bag.
Because as soon as it's done, once the sous vide cooking time is done, because once the cooking time is done, I don't know if you've ever cooked steaks or anything sous vide before, but when it comes out of the water bath, it kind of looks like cadaver meat. It really does not look very appetizing at all. And of course, what we'll do is we will sear that with butter and do butter basting, maybe with some garlic and, whoops. And so there we go again on that guy. And go ahead and get it all, get a good nice sear on the outside in the cast iron pan. Of course, you could also use a torch.
Number 2, and you do want to go with thicker cuts if possible, because if not, you just don't have enough thickness there to get your good medium in the center.
Well, no, actually with sous vide it'll be medium edge to edge.
It will, but when you sear it, there's not much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because one thing on the searing is that some people will use a torch. Here, hang on a second.
Blowtorch.
They might actually. We like using. I like using the cast iron. But the thing is you get a torch like this. This might take 5 minutes aside, or 5 minutes to go. To go ahead and get the sear on it. The thing is that if you don't do this right, if you get it too close to the inner part of the flame, you'll actually infuse the steak with butane, and that doesn't taste very well. Or you get a really big one. You know, we're talking.
That I'm sure we'll be finding one of those.
We're
soon.
talking.
I'm sure of it.
We're talking like what I used to light the charcoal with, and then you can blow torch it with that. But I still don't like that as well as
That
putting
thing
it in the
makes me
cast iron.
jump every time he turns it on.
Yeah. So I actually like using, searing in the cast iron, because you can do butter basting. You can put garlic in there. Instead of putting the rosemary in the bag and vacuum sealing that, you can actually put that in the butter and then just baste everything with butter that has garlic and rosemary in it. Or if you like thyme, you can put thyme in there.
All right.
That's kind of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll go sit out in the front if it's not too cold, or go in the garage where it's safe. I'm not going to mess with you.
Good.
He's a wise
Just
man.
takes a while.
He's very wise.
Takes a while.
He's a wise man.
All right.
No, actually, I'm a wise ass.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Well,
too.
we knew that.
That too. I got my sister Chris here. Y'all met her before. Yay! And her husband's back there waving and doing this, and we're going to do it back to him. So, Chris is getting very adventurous in her cooking lately.
Yeah.
You really
it's
are.
fun.
You're learning a lot.
I know I made
You're
bread.
getting yes,
That was cool.
I know.
I love it.
I know. So I'm going to extend her adventures tonight. She's going to help me sous vide. And first of all, I'll tell you what sous vide is.
Okay.
It's basically cooking in a vacuum in hot water at an even temperature, and as long as your temperature stays steady, and this one is highest rated for staying steady, it doesn't overcook.
Well, that would be a first for me because I always overcook everything.
She used to tell me that she used the smoke alarm as her timer, so not anymore though. You've got better.
I'm getting better.
So basically, we've got the water heated, and the app tells us it's at 132.8 degrees. It's sitting on my counter on a trivet. It doesn't cook on the stove. This is only run by this little device right here.
And so what does that do?
That heats the water and circulates it, so it keeps moving.
Nice.
And so what we're going to do, Buster wants to see how we do this too. Buster thinks he's going to get some steak. All right, so the idea is these have to be submersed. And you can buy racks and all kinds of fancy stuff. I haven't, but we're going to Resco. We're going to go to the restaurant supply next week, so who knows? I may come home with stuff. So, there's the steak.
Okay.
It's seasoned.
Awesome. Looks wonderful.
It's vacuum sealed.
Now, why do you have to vacuum seal it before you put it in there?
So it will stay submersed, and also so that the water fully contacts.
Okay.
So
all
because
of
we
the
got
meat.
that temperature water, and we want the meat to be in the contact with that.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to stick this in here, and it's going to take about an hour and a half to cook this, but it could stay in there much longer. It could stay in there 4 hours or more. It does tend to change the texture of the meat if you leave it a long time.
Okay.
But 4 hours, there's usually not a lot of difference.
But it won't get dried out and it won't get burnt.
No,
I love it.
it's all in this bag. So now the meat is fully submersed, and I'll show you that in a minute. And I'm going to say start. So it's telling me that it's going to be an hour and 30 minutes, and it will be ready to eat at that time.
Awesome.
Now we're going to sear it after that, so that's not the final time for eating. Do you have any questions?
How come we have 2 spoons up here?
Brian decided we needed them.
Okay.
Sometimes you just go along with it, you know,
Yes, I know.
because they're in there. So,
We have to choose our battles.
so I'm gonna bring y'all over here. We're gonna show you what this looks like. And then this is gonna keep track of it for us. We don't have to do anything except, well, we're gonna have some delicata squash, so we gotta cut that up.
That's good.
Some leeks and some broccoli, and
That's gonna be fun.
we have a while to do it. So we're gonna open a bottle of wine and
have family time.
enjoy each other's company. So let me bring you over here and show you what this looks like, and then we're gonna walk away for a while. Buster, your eyes are glowing. Your eyes are glowing, Buster. But Buster says, I want to learn. I want to see how to sous vide. I want to eat it. Yes, Buster. All right, here we go. Now again, this is stainless steel, but you can use any stock pot type. You just need a deep pot that you can put plenty of water in. The sous vide has a magnetic base, and it's drawing water in at the bottom, and it's squirting it out right there. And that's all there is to it. Again, I don't know why we have the spoons. That's Brian's idea. I'm not going to argue. And there's the app. There are other good models out there, but America's Test Kitchen tested a whole bunch, and this was their top choice. And all of my research for a couple years said the Breville Joule was top rated. And it's the smallest. It's small enough to fold up the cord and fit in a drawer. So now we'll come back when these steaks are ready to come out of the water. All right, so our app went off after an hour and a half, but Brian wanted to let it go 2 hours, so we did. So he's taking the meat out of the pot. Okay, show him what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Not real appetizing yet, is it? It's gonna get better. But I'm letting him do this. So he has a cast iron frying pan on high heat with
Medium high.
medium high heat with avocado oil. You want any butter in there?
Yeah, we're going to do butter, but I'm going to sear it first and then
Okay.
we'll do the butter basting
Listen
after.
to him.
But this is the meat. You got it where they can see the meat?
No, you like to have your face showing, so now I do.
Yeah, now that's all right. All right, so these smell just wonderful. I mean, the aroma, especially with the rosemary in there, is just incredible. But the thing is, let's see if I can get this open. Come on. Oh, come on. Well, when you look at it, this really doesn't look too appetizing. I'll tell you that right now. The meat just really, the aroma, I wish you could smell it because it's really, really good. But what we need to do is sear it. And before you sear it, you need to get all the
moisture.
Get all the moisture off.
And I'm going to tell you, I have 2 dogs right here.
Right below me there, yeah. Yeah. So what we do is that we're now going to sear this about a minute on each side.
At high heat. You can hear that. In the meantime, because this is using a lot of power,
Let's go.
I'm turning off the Joule Sous Vide. Because Brian's been watching our power and going, yikes. And it's like, well, we knew this was going to happen.
Yep. Yeah, so like I said, we're going to go about a minute on each side. And we'll get a sear. We'll start getting a sear on that. Then we're going to throw the butter. And don't skip on the butter.
Lots of butter. And that's going to make a wonderful sauce. So you want to add that. These are huge cuts of meat, but you want the thicker meat, and the idea is you get the thick cuts of the meat. They may be larger, but you know what? You share them. You don't eat the whole thing. Well, maybe when we were really young, maybe,
Yeah.
but not anymore. So.
Now that's looking a lot better.
Oh, that's pretty. That's what you want to see right there. How long are you going to do this?
Oh, I don't know, probably a couple of 2-3 minutes. Just to give it all a really good, nice sear.
That's pretty. Okay, it's only been a few minutes, and look at that pretty sear on that. That looks gorgeous, right?
Yep. Yeah, plus we've been basting it in butter to give it some extra flavor. Now, we'll just kind of take these out, wait for the rest of the dinner to be ready. And that's it.
All right. We'll come back for a taste. All right, I know y'all are going to want to taste, so we're going to show you a quick taste, and then we're going to go.
Then we're gonna have dinner.
We're going to go eat and enjoy this as sisters. So, this was cooked to medium.
Perfect.
I don't know if you can see, I'll zoom in for y'all.
Perfect.
But it looks beautiful. And I'm just going to cut a real thin slice so we can taste it, because I want to see that. Wow. It's tender, it's really juicy. All right, lean in here because you're going to be dripping all over. Hot.
Oh my goodness. That is so amazing. The flavor. It's $100 steak. Easy.
Well, the way beef
Nowadays,
prices are.
yes, it is.
The way beef prices are, yeah, it is $100.
So it's beautiful, medium.
Awesome.
You could go medium rare, but Brian didn't want to, so we didn't. So this is medium. It's
Perfect.
tasty. It's tender. It's, you can see, juicy. So
And Brian wants to rub it in his hair.
he's taking a shower before anything. So
He's nodding over here. Yes, he does.
yeah, and he's giving me that look that his mother always said, Brian, you're a bad boy.
But he is not. He's a good boy.
Sometimes.
When it counts.
Sometimes. All right. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. my beautiful sister. And go down below, subscribe.
And
Be sure to hit notification bell and
have a Merry Christmas.
God bless.
God bless.